For me, the dots are points of light. I believe we are stardusting. So the idea is put a lot of stardusting, and like a magic dusting. For me, the dots are energy, cosmic energy. And if we are stardust, it means we have light inside. If we have light inside, we are God. We are people that can do everything. So this is a way to talk about how powerful we are and strong, and we can follow our dreams and our wishes. So this drawing wants to empower people to follow their dreams. The Cosmic Garden is an installation with drawings, canvases, a soundtrack, and a carpet. The installation was made special for this architectural space. It's a kind of passage between the morning day until deep night. But for me, it's not one day, but it's a time passing. It's a metaphor about a time passing. Everything in the landscape is in movement. I want to talk about the transitoriety of things. And it's a big landscape with a lot of elements that I have been using during these 25 years. Mountains, rocks, chandeliers, stars, water, river, cascata, wind, a lot of elements that has a symbolic meaning as the bridges that are elements for connection. If I have to define my work in 3 words, I would say drawing, architecture, and the viewer. So my work is very connected with the place where it is installed. So I was very moved for the light that penetrates inside the space. It's a beautiful light, and talk about the time passing. All the time you can perceive the time passing when you are in this building. Also, the glass bricks was conceiving the idea of the water in Japanese gardens. So the imagery that I created tried to create a dialogue between these glass bricks. So in my drawings you also can see a lot of movement of water and also the time passing. I love to think that the shape of the stones are changing with the water that hits the stones. So this takes time. Sometimes we don't realize that, but everything is in movement. And if you go out this space, Tokyo is a city with a lot of movement too. So for me to create this installation that regards a landscape is to bring a little bit the idea of nature, even in a constructed way, to connect people with nature. Before I studied art, I did gymnastics rhythmic, from 6 years old to 18 years old. And I realized that this background with gymnastics and dance was very important for my art, because I can feel the dance movement in my composition. And I always think about the movement of the viewer in the space. For this exhibition, I created 2 sound pieces. I decided to put in the first room with the morning imagery, the day imagery, the sound of birds and water. A very quiet and soft sound. And in the deep night, I put a sound of crickets and some birds flying. And I believe perception is not only with vision. We perceived art with whole body. So the add sound for me is add another perception to help people to go inside the atmosphere and connected with nature. And I also will put very soft smells. It's a smells of lavender and chamomile. This also add another sensitive to people feel the installation. Here in Japan, for this project that was very ambitious because it's one of the most big wall drawings I made in my life, I invited some friends that worked with me. I believe I created this kind of work to be together people, to not be alone. Because we are living in a society that everything guides us to be individual. And art have to connect people and change this and say, no, we are together. If we are not together, we cannot do anything. I only was able to do this installation because I have many friends that helped me and joined me this journey of drawing. Alone, it was impossible. Albano and I created the Atelier Fidalga 22 years ago. At the beginning, we decided to give classes in our studio to complement our money. But with the years, the classes start to be more conceptual and talk more about the process than practical. For many years, we received the artists in our studio to discuss about their projects, their practices. We had weekly meetings with about 20-25 artists each meeting, and they share their works, they share texts or articles. We also invited the curators or philosophers or people from other areas to join us for a talk. And it's a very energetic place, and we're running a residence project that we invited people abroad to stay 1 month, 40 days, doing their work or their research in our space and changing, doing an exchange, talking about their cultures and learn about our culture. So It's a very good work that connect people, and we learned a lot. So I think all learnership I have is in my work. We need to connect people, we need to listen people. Nowadays, everybody wants to talk in social media, through computer. And we need to create space for people to stay together in real time and real. And I think art is one of the areas that can promote these meetings, to think about the society, to think about the climate change, to think about social problems, to think about happiness and life, and what is the meaning of life. Drawing for me is a very important expression, like talking and dancing. Everybody can draw. When we are kids, when we are a child, we draw a lot. And a certain time, we stop to drawing because someone tells us that our drawing is not good enough, or because we think we don't know how to drawing very good. And this is very sad, because drawing can help us to say things that sometimes is hard to say with words. And drawing is a language that you can use a very simple material, like a pen or a pencil and a piece of paper, or in my case, a wall. But it's simple, you don't need a lot of stuff or a lot of money to do a drawing. Even you can do a drawing using your body, dancing, doing a choreography, or use the fingers and drawing in the sand, or drawing in the water, or there are so many ways to drawing. Sometimes we didn't realize that, but we do drawings all the time. This installation is my revolution against violence, is my revolution against strong power. My drawing is very delicate. My revolution is through delicate things in love.